What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network for the finals of the Sunday Open on May 10th, 2020. This is going to be Dragapult VMAX Malamar versus Tag Call Pika. It's the same Tag Call Pika that I played against in Swiss. If you haven't already watched the rest of the tournament games, there's a playlist in the description down below. So check out all of the other rounds of this tournament if you want to see some more Dragapult VMAX Malamar gameplay versus a myriad of other matchups. Before we get into this gameplay, shout out to PotownStore.com, your best place to get ptcgo codes, and use code CELIO for 5% off over there. And I'd also like to mention my Patreon, where you could become a supporter of mine monthly and get some great benefits like early deck lists and premium articles. So without further ado, we've got the finals, which is a best 2 out of 3. There were 100 people in this ptcgo tournament. And there's a link in the description below if you want to join the Discord where this tournament was held. So there were 7 best of 1 rounds and a top 16 cut. The top 16 cut had records between 7-0 to 5-2 in it. I went into top cut at 6-1 record, and so at this point I am 9-1. I lost round 1 of the tournament, and then I've won 9 games since then. So like I said, the finals will be a best 2 out of 3, and the winner's getting 50 packs of Rebel Clash on ptcgo. Second place gets 30 packs, so we're playing for some packs, but mostly this is for fun and for practice for Qualifier 3, at least for me. So I'm going first here. My opponent starts a Pika. And search for Dragapult V with Treasure before using Stellar Wish, so I could thin out the deck a little, because I do need a supporter for next turn, preferably. And here I'm deciding between Marnie and Research. I do have a couple resources in my hand I would like to keep, but I'm going with the Research here, going to attach Horror Energy Pass. So for next turn, I do have Giant Bomb. I can Stellar Wish prior to Research, since I have the Scoop Up Net to move the Jirachi. My opponent benches Zeraora GX. Now, if you have not seen the other match versus this Pika list, they're not playing Jirachis. And they are playing a Malolana. It's definitely an interesting list. A lot of the lists from this tournament also are in the Discord at the link in the description below. So if you don't want to play in the tournament even, but you wanted to join it and kind of see what's going on, feel free to do that. The organizer posts some of the statistics, like what the top 16 decks were, some of the deck lists, the archetypes, things like that. So my opponent's going to go ahead and quick ball away a Lightning Energy and get a Coco Prism, and then Guz Mahala. I end up playing against this deck quite a bit in the tournament, since I played it in Swiss and then again in a best 2 out of 3 finals. And it runs fairly well for Tag Call Pika, which I didn't think ran so well, but Speed Energy does help it. My opponent does draw well throughout a couple scenarios in the multiple games we play, but I think this list actually performed better than I would have expected it to. And looking at the list after the tournament, there are definitely things I don't like about it. Some like over-teched cards, but I think the my opponent here was definitely on the right track to building a really good Pika list, and it is very good. There's just a couple things I don't like about it. But anyway, Speed Energy, drawing an extra 2 cards. They got Thunder Mountain in their hand. They got Tapu Koko Prism. If they have an energy switch, they're off to the races here. So no energy switch, but they can just attack turn 1 with Boltund and knock out a Jirachi, start this game off like that. Okay. And so I promote Dragapult V. We evolve the VMAX. Also note, they stamped us that turn, so my hand where I was preparing the professor's research for next turn. None of that ended up happening anyway, so we did get stamped by our opponent there. I guess they saw we had research, so they figured they would go ahead and see if they could stop that. Put us into a worse hand without a supporter card. But they gave us the Dragapult VMAX we needed. They gave us another Dragapult V. And here we are going to grab a Dedenne, I believe. I'm eyeing up a Guru here, actually. It looks like I've prized Mew this game, so maybe I don't want to put that Dedenne down. That could definitely be a liability. I'm going with this play where I reset hole away the Thunder Mountain instead. Okay, and then I have the switch for next turn if I need to switch into Jirachi and see if I can get something else going. So this is interesting. I like this play, I think. I could have definitely went aggressive and gotten the Dedenne GX, draw 6 cards, but like I said, I'm pretty sure Mew is prized this game, so I wouldn't be able to protect the Dedenne GX from Tag Bolt. And Marshadow reset hole, getting rid of that stadium could definitely prove to be strong. My opponent would need an energy switch and attach energy to attack with Pika this turn, which they might not be able to do, judging by their last turn, which was not very explosive. But they do have electromagnetic radar in their hand, so they can just search out for a Dedenne and a Raichu, or a Dedenne and another Pikachu. They're going to go Dedenne Raichu here, so they can draw 6 cards. So if they don't get the energy switch, full blitz, they probably just kind of sack this Bolt Ton to attach energy with its first attack. But it looks like they got there, so they have attach for turn and energy switch, and they actually didn't play a supporter yet. So my board looks fine, but my hand and having Mew prized is not looking great here. Okay, we're going to see a quick ball here from my opponent. So next turn, unless I top deck, well, regardless of what I top deck next turn, I think I just switch into Jirachi and hope to get a Marnie or Research. Even if I get a Research, I think I would still switch into Jirachi and then use the Research to save the Stellar Wish for later. So full Blitz 150. And they are attaching all the energy to the active Pika. Okay. So I definitely think we go for the switch here. Let's see. So, trying to think. I could just swing into it, and then they go either knock it out with Tag Bolt 170 to the Dragapult V, or take 4 prizes, knocking it out, and the Jirachi. But I think in this kind of situation, I have to switch and just see what I get. Because I would like to have a giant bomb on the Dragapult. I would like to make this Dragapult V a Dragapult V Max. So yeah, there I go. I get a research off Stellar Wish, and we're still in this. Gonna see what we can get. And okay, we did not get a giant bomb, but we did get Mysterious Treasure, so we can get another Dragapult V Max. And I got Scoop Up Net and Switch, so I can move the Jirachi with either of those. I could always Dedenne to try to hit the bomb, but Dedenne is kind of just forfeiting the game, because then we'll have 5 prizes they can take on the board with Tag Bolt. We definitely don't want to do that. We could get Tina remove the speed energy on their active. I think I'm definitely considering that, but getting the Dragapult VMAX is safe because then they can't gust Dragapult V and win the game by knocking out the V and the VMAX with Tag Bolt. Now I know Mew is prized, I know I can't put the Dene down, so I'm thinking, what do I do with this Quick Ball? I think I just get the Tina here and remove the speed energy. So I make them need the speed energy. I'm not the speed energy. I'd make them need to attach energy for turn 2 Pika in order to Tag Bolt here. And I can either scoop up net or switch the Jirachi. I think I should switch it, but it looks like I'm going with scoop up net. I guess this way it makes them potentially put the 170 on the... No, I should have definitely switched. Yeah, that's a misplay. I wasted the scoop up net. I guess I was thinking maybe I would want the switch for something else, but I think it's just better holding on to the scoop up net. So here we're probably putting damage on the Raichu. Or so I'm thinking, do I want to play the 7 prize card game here with my opponent? Like, so I can knock out Boltund and Dedenne and the Pika, or I can just knock out Pika and Raichu. And I think I should put it on the Raichu. So I put it on the Boltund, and now the Boltund's set up that I can knock out Pika and Boltund at the same time. So I guess I could clear their board of both of their attackers, at least at this point, but that'll leave me with 1 prize card left, and I'm gonna have to knock out something that's bigger than 1 prize card to win the game, unless they were to bench a single prize Pokemon and just leave it there, which I don't think they're going to do. Here comes another Dedenne down. So I wonder if they go for Tag Bolt here, they don't have any energy on the board next turn. If they full blitz me, with 1 electric power, they can power something else up with the full blitz. So that's probably the way to go. If I was able to get the giant bomb last turn, I would be in a really great position here, I feel, but without the giant bomb, I don't think either of us are really in a secure position here. But if I had the giant bomb, I would say I was in the lead. So here comes the electric power from my opponent. Now they can knock me out with the full blitz instead of Tag Bolt. They attach energy to Raichu on the bench, so they are going with the full blitz. They're going to try to power up that Raichu. So we're probably expecting the Raichu's GX attack this game now, whereas a turn or two ago it looked like it could have been a Tag Bolt game. Especially since I don't have a Mew on my bench to protect with bench barrier, since that's prized. It did look like it would be a Tag Bolt game for my opponent, but they attach energy to the Raichu and then use Mahala, which I do think is a misplay if they're searching out a speed energy. That's all they searched out is speed energy, but they already attached return, which is definitely peculiar. And they did it really quickly after attaching, so I wonder if they purposely wanted basic lightning on the Alolan Raichu, and that's why they searched out the speed energy after attaching and did not attach the speed energy instead of the basic energy. So here we can knock out the Pika and the Boltund, and there's the giant bomb. Next card, 1 turn too late. Now we know they have speed energy in hand, but we do need to get an energy for turn. I'm taking the Marnie. Want to see if I can mess up their hand a bit, I think, potentially. Or I'm just taking the Marnie as one more card to thin out on my deck with research. That could be it too. So yeah, I'm just taking the Marnie as one more card to thin out because we need to get this psychic energy. So we research and we do get the psychic energy, and we get 3 Marnie as well. We don't have too much going on, but we do have the attack this turn, so we can take 5 prize cards on the Pika and the Boltund. It looks like, okay, so I'm setting up, we're not actually knocking out the Boltund, we're setting up 3 damage on the Dene here. And I think that might be better. Actually, we put 5 damage just in case they put a big charm on the Dene, but looking back at this now, I know that the deck was only playing 1 big charm. So instead of knocking out the Boltund, we do put damage on the Dene, but the issue with that is they're playing Mallow and Lana, and I can really get punished by this. Yeah, so this can be a big problem for me because they are playing Mallow and Lana. There's energy to the Raichu. There's the reset stamp. My 9 to 10 card, 9 card hand down to 3. We get a Marnie and an energy. Looks like no Mallow and Lana though from them, so that's good. So switch and research. Of course, they're gonna they are going to paralyze us here, do 160. They might have played an Electro Power. There's another Electro Power. If not the first one, then the second one. And they Tool Scrappered the Giant Bomb as well, so that's a really strong turn for my opponent. And they play just 1 Electro Power, so 190. They take 20 damage there. We need to hit a switch here. We cannot Boss's Order for the game, though. So this turn, what I want to do is, I'm probably not going to attack. What I'm going to do is just hope I get a switch or an escape board off the Marnie, and just sit with my Dragapult VMAX on the bench, try to get a Boss's Order for the next turn. So we're getting the Inkay to thin out the deck, and benching the Inkay does not matter because they have 2 prize cards left. The only thing they want to knock out is this Dragapult VMAX. Gonna attach our energy to Inkay. Maybe we could sleep them, I think, is what I'm considering here. We could maybe use Hypnosis. And we got the board, so we can get this Dragapult VMAX out of there. If we didn't get the Dragapult VMAX out of there, we lost the game, so that's good. Now we're going to go ahead and Mysterious Treasure for Mewtwo to get Boss's Order to the top of the deck, I believe, if Mewtwo's in there. Mewtwo's not in there. We discarded it earlier in the game. And Stellar Wish for Boss's Order. Here we go. So if they, 1, don't disrupt their hand, and 2, don't have Gust to win the game themselves, then we win the game next turn with Boss's Order. Of course, unless they retreat and Mallow Lana the Boltund, then we are up the creek. So Mallow Lana is not in the discard pile. They're down the Eldegoss. They're only playing 1 Mallow Lana. At this point, I don't think I knew how many Mallow Lana they were playing, but I think 1 is a reasonable assumption, since most Pika lists play 0, and I saw that this deck did have it in there during Swiss. I think it's safe to assume it's just 1. They discard the Alolan Meowth there, and they never used the Alolan Meowth against me, and I think this is the matchup it would be for. Or it could just be really for any matchup to get a little bit of extra poke in there when you're going second. But that's a card I would cut from this list to add maybe a second Big Charm or a second Mallow Lana, since the Mallow Lanas were The Malolanas are very good in this matchup, and if they had an extra one at any point, I think they would have won the game. So quick ball, getting nothing there. And Professor's Research. So we're not getting gusted. It looks like we won the game. Unless they have another reset stamp. If they do not have another reset stamp, then it looks like we won the game. Or another big charm for the Dedenne, but they're only playing one big charm. And there's the pass. They just don't knock out the Jirachi. Because if they knock out the Jirachi, they know we have Boss's Order in hand and we win. So, we just... the Jirachi didn't wake up, so we have to just Stellar Wish to see if we get Scoop Up Net board or Switch. Let's see how it goes. We got 2 Scoop Ups, 1 board, 1 Switch, I think, left in the deck. Here's Stellar Wish. Here we go. And we got Scoop Up Net and we got Switch. That's the game. So Scoop Up Net, send up Draga, Boss's Order up to the Dedenne, knock out the Dedenne and the Boltund V for the last 3 prizes. Like I said, if they had an extra Malolana at any point, I think they just won the game. If they were able to heal that Boltund. So, yeah, GG. That's game 1 of the finals versus Pika. Let's fast forward to the start of the game. And my opponent is choosing to go first here. Okay, here we go. Start of game 2. So my opponent has a Boltund. I got to draw 2 extra cards for Mulligan. I got Boltund, Energy, Big Charm, Pass. And I have a really good hand here. I got Energy for my Dragapult. I have a Quick Ball, so I can get another Dragapult. I can get an Inkay. I can get a Jirachi. I have double Dragapult VMAX in hand, so I think getting another Draga wouldn't be the worst idea. Especially since they could pop off and knock out my Dragapult V next turn. It's active. And I don't want to Marnie them because I don't know what their hand's looking like. So I don't think I Marnie here. I could put Dragapult on top and then Marnie. So I'm just going to pass here. Okay. Since they did nothing, I think not doing the Marnie is fine. They could have just a really bad hand, but we attach to the bench to Dragapult just in case something bad happens to this active Dragapult V. Here comes an Electropower. Here's another Electropower. That's 2. And there's the Professor's Research. So if they get 1 more energy on the board, they're doing 130 damage, 2 energy, and 2 Electropower. If they get 3 more energy on the board with like a Cocoa Prism, they would be doing 190. And they get another Electropower, so 3 Electropower and 3 energy, they'd be doing 220, so they would knock out the Dragapult V. Or if they can get a full Blitz, they already have enough with the 2 Electropowers to do 210 to knock out the Dragapult. Here's the Tapu Koko Prism, so it looks like my opponent might just be getting a pretty nice turn off here. There's the 3rd Electropower. So that's 3, count them, 3 Electropowers for my opponent, plus 90 damage this turn. That's kind of nuts. And, They can get 2 more energy down here with the Cocoa Prism. If they can attach one from hand, they're knocking out my Dragapult V. There's the one from hand, and I do believe they have 2 already in the discard pile. We'll have to see. But that'll be a knockout. That'll be 220 damage. Let's see what they're doing. There's Dance of the Ancient, so I think they do have the double lightning in the discard pile to attach to Dene's Aurora. Yep, there we go. And this Boltund V will be knocking out Dragapult V with 220 damage on turn 2. With the help of triple Electro Power, of course. So that kind of feels bad. You don't really expect triple Electro Power to happen. Especially after the turn 1 where they did nothing at all. We're going to Primate Wisdom, Dedenne to the top, and then Marnie. Now, we could treasure for either an Inkay or another Dragapult here. Okay, getting rid of the Psychic Energy with Treasure. And my third Dragapult V is prized, so we're not getting a Dragapult here. Definitely unfortunate. But when you play 3 Dragapult instead of 4 Dragapult, that's something that'll happen sometimes. It's just... I guess it's a little more unfortunate that they had triple Electric Power energy, or triple Electric Power and 3 energies for the turn there on turn 2 to knock me out with Boltund. Because then if they didn't do that, then we wouldn't be worried about having one less Dragapult V in deck, because our active Dragapult wouldn't have been knocked out early. So there's a Dedenne. We put down the Mewtwo just so we have it for later. And here I think what I really want is a Giant Bomb, and we don't get the Giant Bomb. Or we could potentially want a Malolana for next turn. Because we only have one Dragapult V, so we have to make this one work. And I'm going to go ahead and put all of the extra damage on the Zeraora, since I'm anticipating that would be their next attacker. Quick ball away a Radar. Still on this quick ball here. But yeah, this game is not looking good for me. The early knockout, the Dragapult V prize, just a combination of both of those things. Here's an energy coming down to Alolan Raichu tag team, so now they have a tag team attacker getting powered up. Switch into the Zeraora and Dedenne, so they could always just free retreat the Zeraora if things don't work out, or maybe they'll get like energy switch Thunder Mountain and they can attack with Zeraora, or they can energy switch Thunder Mountain and attack with Raichu. So depending on how they drew here, if they get a supporter or not, there's a lot they could do. If we were in like a timed tournament, 50 minutes, best 2 out of 3, this might be a match. This might be a game 2 where I just need to scoop early. So he is just going to retreat into Bolt Hund and swing with that, it looks like. And here's Bolt Storm for 160. So the Giant Bomb wouldn't have mattered anyway. They don't have enough energy for it. And they wouldn't have just electropowered just to just to do 30 more damage and pop the Giant Bomb in the process. So Mysterious Treasure for Dragapult VMAX just to thin out the deck. And like I said, no more Dragapult V's in the deck, so we're just going to try to thin the deck here. Just going to grab the Jirachi, get another card out of the deck. And we're going to Primate Wisdom here, I think. Now, I could have Quick Balled once or Treasured once Primate Wisdom if I don't get what I want. Play the other ball, search to shuffle up the deck, then scoop up net and Primate Wisdom all over again. So here's Primate Wisdom, and we get exactly Malolana. I don't think any other card could have kept us in the game here. So we top deck Malolana off the Primate Wisdom, and we get to keep playing, basically. Because if we didn't get that, they knock out our Dragapult VMAX. We don't have another Dragapult V to go, so the game would have been over from there. So we do have it. We can keep on playing. Stellar Wish, we have Switch here. And we're just going to swing into this Bolt Hund. We're knocking it out. So we get to take 2 prizes. And probably setting up some damage on a Dedenne. So we can try to knock out the Dedenne and Zeraora for our last prizes. But they're probably bringing up the Alolan Raichu tag team. So having to do the 130 damage to the Bolt Hund. A little bit of overkill there, only at 230 HP. And trying to set up the knockouts on the Dedenne and the Zeraora, but they're probably attacking with the Alolan Raichu. It's just very awkward for us. I think the goal here is we hit Raichu and 5 more onto the Zeraora. And then in a following turn, we can Zigzagoon scoop up net to put 2 extra on the Zeraora. Boss's Order the Dedenne, swing 130 into the Dedenne, and knock out the Zeraora at the same time. That would be the ideal situation. But here they're swinging in 160 and paralyzing us, so we have to see if we can even make it past that. We're going to just have to go with Malolana again. And we have a very small hand, so we have to Primate Wisdom 1 card, and then Malolana discard 2 of the others. So we have to decide what do we want to save here for next turn. Potentially scoop up net. I could see anything but the... Actually, we might want to scoop up net and put Dragapult V down. But I don't think we have the amount of cards in our hand to do that. Because we have to put 1 card back to get the Malolana, then we have to get rid of 2 cards. So yeah, we cannot successfully Malolana and scoop up net something to put down the Dragapult V. We don't have enough cards in our hand to do that. So we could have not Malolanaed. We could have let this Dragapult VMAX die. We could have just used Switch instead. So we're Malolanaing away the Dragapult V and the Switch. We're just saying, you know what, this Dragapult VMAX is our only Dragapult VMAX this game. We're actually getting rid of the Research and the Dragapult V. So maybe it would have been better to use just the Switch into the Jirachi, scoop up net something to make room for a Dragapult V, play Research, get another energy to attach it to the Dragapult V, attack with this 200 damage Dragapult VMAX, let it get knocked out, put 5 on the Zeraora, and go for the Boss's Order, Zigzagoon, scoop up net play in the following turn. That might have been better. And now we should put 5 on the Zeraora here. Yeah, we put 5 on the Zeraora. So the Zeraora is 7 damage counters away from being knocked out. We could even potentially win by hitting Raichu and Zeraora. So maybe putting that 30 damage on the Dedenne was a misplay. How many turns ago? 2 turns ago, I believe we put 30 damage on the Dedenne. So that might have cost us the game here. If they just attack with Raichu again, we're not able to scoop up Zigzagoon, scoop up Zigzagoon for the Zeraora. That might actually cost us the game here, those the damage counters on Dedenne. And here's Electropower. Research. So if they're able to energy switch, I think they actually knock out our Dragapult VMAX with Lightning Ride GX. There's the energy switch. So those damage counters are not going to matter because they're knocking out this Dragapult VMAX and we don't have another one. So in this case, in hindsight, yes, it would have been better to just switch, scoop up net, place down the new Dragapult V, research, try to get more energy, and not go for the Malolana play at all. Because I did not expect them to get their 4th Electropower, another energy switch, and Lightning Ride GX to knock out the Dragapult VMAX. So I think here I just scoop because I'm all out of Dragapult Vs. So there were multiple lines of play for me in that game, and I ended up not taking the lines of play that led to victory there. So they might only be misplays in hindsight. They might have been misplays regardless. Like, just concrete, this was not the most optimal play. But I did think I was taking myself down a path of victory with Malolanaing to heal that Dragapult VMAX, just keep this one alive that I already have, and go for this play, knocking out the Dedenne Zeraora or Raichu Zeraora. So, but that did not work out. Also, I think I should have not allocated damage to the Dedenne regardless. I should have just put it all in Zeraora, planned to knock out Raichu and Zeraora. The issue with that was if they Malolanaed the Raichu, then the Dedenne play would have been better. So it really could have gone multiple ways regardless of how I played it. My opponent still could have won. On to game 3, I'm going first. So here I have a really bad hand. Double Giant Bomb, Malolana, Scoop Up Net, Double Energy. No Dragapult V's in sight. No Quick Ball, no Mysterious Treasure. Attach an energy to Inkay Pass. Let's see what my opponent can do. Okay, so they've got a hand. They're going. They've got Electromagnetic Radar. They're doing something for sure. So Radar, they got Pika, they got the Dedenne GX. They're going to be drawing some cards here. Deciding what they want to do before Dedenne, I guess. Here comes the Dedenne. So they're throwing away an energy, maybe deciding, do I want to attach this basic energy, but usually you want to get a couple into the discard pile. Here's a Tag Call. And I've just got a really bad start, so it sucks to see game 3 start like this for me. Tag Call for Raichu and Pika. Speed energy to the Pika, draw 2 cards. Alone Raichu comes down. They might just have a slow turn 1 here, which I mean that would be great if I was getting a normal setup. I think I would be winning if they had a slow start like this and I was actually getting off a turn 2 Max Phantom. So nothing else for my opponent. We do top deck a quick ball, so we're still in this game, but really bad start here. We have both of our giant bombs in our hand that are gonna get wasted. Quick ball away, psychic energy, getting a Dedede. Or actually, okay, we're getting a Jirachi, seeing if we can save some of these resources. So I guess, I figure the Dene, we get into this game, we start drawing cards, getting set up, but we're down double giant bomb. Can we realistically win? Or what are our chances we win without ever getting one giant bomb into play? But it looks like we're probably just going to have to get rid of them anyway. So here's quick ball away Malolana. I think I'm going to be getting a Dedenne here anyway after all. But at least now we got a Jirachi into play. But the Jirachi might not be helping because we are... all we got with the Jirachi was another quick ball for the Dedenne. So we put down the Tinus. Maybe we can use it later on. And now we got something going a bit here. So we got Professor's Research, and we have not used a supporter this turn. We're going to put down the Dragapult. Put down the Marshadow, potentially. Yep, so there goes Marshadow, and another switch down. So we're going through a lot of resources here. We got an energy attachment for turn, which is nice. And then just pass. Didn't play down the Viridian Forest because that could help my opponent. So what will my opponent do? Here comes another speed energy from the onto the Pika. Draw 2 more cards, so they have a sizable hand happening over there. I would have to imagine they can get a Cocoa Prism or a Thunder Mountain out. Granted that they're not prized. And here's Professor's Research. So they need either Cocoa Prism Energy Switch or Thunder Mountain here. There's the Cocoa Prism. And there's also the Thunder Mountain. So they got both. Pretty good. Dance of the Ancients, 2 energy onto the board. And now they can full blitz 3 more energy onto the board and take the first prize card of the game. So now they'll just need to knock out Dragapult VMAX and Dedenne. We're going to send up Dragapult V. We don't have a Jirachi on the bench to send up. We can just get this Marshadow off of our bench here. And play down the Viridian. Thin out the deck a little. We can use this Tina. Disrupt them a bit, although it probably doesn't matter too much because they can just free retreat into Raichu instead. And we'll get a Jirachi down in case we need that. And we do get Dragapult VMAX. We also have a Malamar, so that's good. We don't have a backup Dragapult V yet. But at least we can start attacking on turn 3. Now, if we started attacking on turn 2, this game would be a lot different, I think, if we didn't have that really slow start. But we did end up recovering from that bad hand. And this game looks like it's going to be... We probably have to knock out 2 tag teams. The Raichu, and the Pika. But we're going to put 3 on the Dene, 2 on Zeraora. I think we should have just put it all on the all on the Raichu. I think we should have put it all there. Quick ball away that Alolan Meowth. They never got to use it against us. Yeah, I suppose I'm worried about the Zeraora being a 2-prize attacker that they use, but I think I should have just put the damage on Raichu. Because, well, it depends if they, Big Charm, or what they Big Charm. Also, I potentially should not have played down the Viridian Forest, just to thin my deck, because the Viridian Forest could help my opponent. But they have research. They're digging through their deck a lot. They probably would have had energy anyway. So there's double Electropower, I believe. Triple Electropower here. So triple Electropower Lightning Ride GX one-shots my Dragapult VMAX. And they're taking 3 prizes there. So my damage allocation might not have even mattered. They just get this huge Lightning Ride GX. Triple Electropower. Again, just like last game when they had the Boltund V triple Electropower. There's finally a Dragapult. Oh, gosh. So, all they need to do is knock out this Dedenne to win the game, or the Dragapult V I'm about to play down. They have used their Eldegoss already, but I think they have Gust effects left. Just a really explosive couple games from the Pika player here. Viridian away, Inkay to get a Psychic Energy, got Lightning Energy on my mind. And we can power up the Dragapult in 1 turn, but it's just a Dragapult V, not a Dragapult V Max. Unfortunate. And then we'll just Professor's Research. So they can either knock out whatever single prizer we leave and then another single prizer, or they can knock out our Dedenne GX and just win the game from there. But either way, I don't think this is a game we're winning. It just does not look good, but it's the last game of the tournament. It's finals game 3, so I'm going to play it out, but it's not looking good here. I don't see a way I ever win this. They just have to brick and never draw another card, basically, or never have another good card to play. But they have a 9-card hand, a 12-card deck. Playing down the Boltund here, attaching speed, energy, drawing 2 more cards. So really large hand. I don't know how many bosses' orders are in their discard pile. I believe they're playing either 2 or 3 in the deck. They've already used the Eldegoss. Here's energy switch to the Boltund. Here's another energy switch to the Boltund. Interesting. Maybe because they have the special energy on it. I could get rid of the special energy with Tina. Let's see what they're doing here. I guess they don't have the Gust, or they would have played it by now. Here's Quick Ball. Away Mark Shadow, nothing to get out of the deck. Big Charm coming down on the Pika. And pitching away Malolana of the Viridian Forest. They get a Lightning Energy out of the deck here. So they're thinning, and here's Research. So I guess they're digging for their great catcher here, and there's the well played, and there's the great catcher on the Dene, and that's the game. So, I lost in finals 1-2 to Pikarom. Beat this Pikarom in Swiss, lost to it in finals. Second place out of 100 players with the Dragapult VMAX Malamar deck. Pretty happy with that. I really was practicing for the qualifier 3 in this, so it was cool to do pretty well in the tournament with Dragapult VMAX Malamar. I will be getting a deck profile up either the same day this video goes up or the following morning. So I hope you enjoyed all of these matches from my experience with the Sunday Open on May 10th. If you have not seen the other rounds and you're interested, there's a playlist in the description below with all of my games I recorded from this tournament. Check out PotownStore.com, best place to get ptcgo codes, and use code CELIO for 5% off. Also, I have recently become affiliated with tcgplayer.com, and you can use the link down in my description. If you're shopping on TCG Player and you use that link, I get a small commission from it, so I really appreciate that. It helps support the channel. Hope you enjoyed this video and all of the videos in this Sunday Open series playlist I have. And subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it and you want to see more content like this in the future. I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.